The terrible orange sky. We were in bed, and it was well after midnight when we heard the sounds. It had been a strange night. All evening we had sat out on our deck to watch the shifting lights in the sky. They were a lurid reddish-orange, crossing the sky in bands and pillars, and so bright we were able to see everything on the deck and in the backyard clearly, as if it had been high noon. When my wife wanted to know what was causing it, my best guess was that there was a huge grass fire somewhere to the west of us. "But shouldn't we smell smoke?" she said. And I didn't have an answer for that. In the end, I settled for obscure atmospheric conditions. I had no idea what they might be or what I was talking about, but it sounded plausible. The lurid light still shone in the night sky when we went to bed around 11, and I noticed as I drifted off to sleep that it was possible to see the glow of the terrible orange sky through the bedroom curtains. It was almost bright enough to keep me awake. Almost. We woke with a bang, literally. "Did you hear that?" my wife said, a note of fright in her voice. "What was that?" I don't know," I mumbled. Truth was that even though the loud noise had woken me up, I couldn't have told you what it was, couldn't describe it. We lay there in the dark, waiting for the sound to come again. We didn't have long to wait. It was a deep but high-pitched sound, a metallic sound, which made me think of a collapsing metal structure. Two sound images came to mind. One, the sound of a torpedoed ship as it sinks beneath the waves, a sound effect I'd heard in innumerable war movies. Two, Godzilla's angry bellow. Thinking about the big guy made me chuckle, which caused my wife to snap, "This isn't funny." Sorry," I sputtered. And at that precise moment, Godzilla, or something like him, did indeed bellow. It howled, roared, and shrieked. In fact, the cacophony was such high volume that the entire house began to shake. I stumbled out of bed, pulling the curtains aside to see what was going on, and was instantly blinded. The lurid orange lights which had been in the sky had now come to earth and had now turned everything outside my window, the front lawn, the street, the houses across the way, a vivid and gruesome blood red. The dancing lights were so bright they hurt my eyes as they swirled and shimmered and pulsed, till I finally had to turn away. Behind me, my wife was saying frantically, "What is it? What do you see?" "Those orange lights," I said. "The ones that were up in the sky. They've come to Earth." "Is there a fire?" "I don't know. I don't think so," I answered. "I don't smell any smoke. But those lights, they're so bright, they hurt my eyes." And then a tremendous crash came from outside, so strong it rattled the windows, knocked the lamp from the bedside table, even cracked the plaster. I told my wife I thought we might be having an earthquake, and I chanced another look out the window and saw a huge metallic foot, silver but reflecting the brilliant orange lights, standing on the front lawn, covering its entire surface, while around it flew a host of bright blue orbs, each about the size of a baseball. I threw myself back into bed and whispered to my wife to be deathly quiet. Our very lives might depend upon it. We lay in each other's arms, trembling with fear, while outside the bellowing and loud metallic clangs had been replaced by the sighing of a spectral wind which howled like a host of banshees, and shook the house to its foundations. The bedroom door was open, and we could see the hallway was now suffused by a cold blue light which sent shivers down my spine and showed me it was possible to become even more frightened than I already was. My wife was sobbing in terror, and I shushed her, actually clamping my hand over her mouth. But it was too late. A saraband of icy blue-white orbs poured through the open doorway and began to circle the bed, speeding around, faster and faster and faster, as we watched them mesmerized. And then they pounced. The blue light was cold. Oh, so cold that it burned, and we were both writhing in pain and agony, but also in the most excruciating pleasure we had both ever experienced, causing us to scream in both utter torment and ecstasy. Our minds exploded, leaving us unable to breathe. And then the bedroom ceiling collapsed upon us as a huge metal foot slammed down on us. The moral of the story: sometimes, when in bed, having the earth move is not a positive experience. If this is your first visit to my channel, please consider subscribing. My name is Warren, and I write and tell original ghost stories and original horror stories featuring such cryptids as the Night Floaters, werewolves, and the Black-Eyed Children. So again, please consider subscribing. Please help me to reach my goal of 2,500 subs. Till midnight. Cheers. Pictures used in today's video, courtesy of Pixier, that's PX here, while the music was Unseen Horrors by that patron of the internet, Kevin MacLeod. Unseen Horrors, a piece that always makes me think of the old Hammer horror films. Thank you for listening.